Welcome to the Mother's Day edition of one of my videos here. I am spraying a field that was corn stalks last year. It has been planted to soybeans, and we are spraying it about as optimal timing as possible. These beans are going to be cracking out of the ground probably within about a day or two. And due to the fact that the temperature changes and soil type changes, you're going to get some beans come out of the ground shortly before other ones. You don't want to wait till the very last minute to get them sprayed. We are spraying a burn down residual herbicide. Sonic is what we're spraying, and a pretty weed-free field here. There's some dandelion, and I got some burdocks coming up here in this pass along the headlands that are going to get killed. But the main thing is managing weed resistance, and by putting down a pre-plant or pre-emerge herbicide such as Sonic or Residual Pro or whatever brand you like to run. I sprayed some Boundary yesterday, which is some Genesis product. They all pretty much do the same thing. Some of them are activated by water with less amounts of water. Some take more water to activate. So each one has its own special feature, but the main thing is getting something down to give us a little bit longer time before we kind of come in and do our second pass. So I'm in a Miller sprayer. I think 5215 is the model number of this one. The front boom. I really enjoy the front boom. Being able to see all my nozzles, know that I'm getting a good spray pattern, consistent across the whole boom. We've got some rear boom machines that I've sprayed with too, but I do like having that front boom. You get, used to one type of machine or the other. I like how I can go into corners with the front boom, works pretty well. But this is my system here. So I've done my headland pass, and it's just a matter of finding which roads you want to follow. I usually start by looking for the long rows in the field and working my way down to the short rows. Well, fields in Wisconsin might have 5 or 6 different sets of lines in the field because we're used to following contours. Plant along the slope, not up and down it. Minimize erosion and washing. So it makes for a whole different experience than some states where it's pretty flat and just set your AB line and go. We don't do. We've got some of that up here, but got a lot of contours as well that we follow. And then there's a thing called contour strips, which is a whole lot of fun. A couple of customers I've worked with have actually started doubling up their strips this year. They've got 80 or 90 foot wide strips back and forth across the farm. And for the sake of efficiency and with equipment sizes being wider, most of the sprayers we spray with have 90 foot booms. We've got some 120 foot booms too, but other than our pickup sprayer, which is 45s, everything's at 90. So to get a good spray job done and get the edges of the fields, it's nice doubling up some of these strips where we can and where it makes sense. with the tools that we have with GPS now, it makes it that much easier to get a really nice, consistent strip, so you don't have a lot of short rows down the middle of these strips. But it is a beautiful day for spraying. Wind speed's about 6 miles an hour, just perfect. You know, anywhere in that 4 to 6 mile an hour range helps you get the product exactly where you want it. Minimal drift. I'm mostly following rows. I'm not using auto steer here. I ran auto steer a little while last night. It is not holding my line. I can steer better than the way this auto steer is calibrated right now. I've had a lot of problems with these Raven auto steers this year holding their calibration. And frankly, when we're busy, we don't have time to go through and recalibrate the steering on everything. So, you know, steering by hand, get a little bit more overlap here, but at least you don't have skips. The way the auto steer was working last night, if you start getting off and then you got to skip, and I'll tell you what, running the soybean primer herbicide, you will see every little skip out there. So that's where the weeds are going to start growing. You know, here I've got a pass like maybe 7 feet wide in between my 90-foot headland passes. The auto section control turns that on and off as needed. Still try to drive in a way that makes sense so that we don't have more overlap than what's needed. Beautiful day for spraying. As I said, it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day, Mom. My mom lives about 1,200 miles away. She's down in Florida. My mom and dad and sister are. So I don't feel overly guilty being out here today. Not that I had a choice. When the weather's fit to go, you gotta go. Should have put Mother's Day in July. Oh well. Start spraying these 18-hour days. It's kind of funny what you start thinking about. Like, who decided to come up with the date Mother's Day? I'm sure you can Google it and find out. But I think there's probably going to be some hay made next week. A lot of the alfalfa is at that 26, 28 inch range. They're talking rain showers. There's about a 40% chance of rain showers on Monday night, about a 90% chance on Wednesday. So between those 2 dates, we might see upwards toward an inch of rain. Honestly, it would not be the worst thing in the world. Get that ground softened up for the corn to come through. Got quite a bit of corn emerged now, but still I'd say 40 to 50% of it's still got to come out of the ground yet. Maybe 30 to 40%. There's been a lot coming out of the ground the past couple of days, that's for sure. Temperatures have been great. It was 85 degrees yesterday, about what it got up to, and just beautiful weather. Now, it's people who aren't used to agriculture look at me like I'm nuts working the kind of hours I do, but I'll tell you what, when it's beautiful weather, you get to be outside enjoying creation. It's not a bad gig. You won't find me complaining about it. Oh, I'll hit my coverage and I can see the whole field I just did here. about 15.7 acres in this field. I've got another strip just below this field to do. We've got all our fields loaded onto our iPads this year, which makes it really nice knowing that you're in the right field. Of course, we still print out maps for each of the applicators as well. And I'm in the process of getting set up so that we have prescription set up in each monitor, so when these guys go out, when our applicators go out and spray, they'll be right on the Viper. It's not that difficult to do, it just takes some time. So this strip I'm in right now is not 90 feet, it's actually, this is an 80-foot strip. So I've got my left section off. Looks like it's covered pretty well. As long as it stays right about that 80 feet all the way around, we'll be good. I'll probably, I think we're good here. Got a waterway right here. I usually trace my waterways. I think that's the best way of going about doing waterways. Sometimes on these small strips, it doesn't really make sense to trace them, but do it where we can. We're right alongside the road here too, so I'll get my head straightened out. Getting nice and clean there on the end. I'm pretty picky about the quality of the spray job. There's nothing better than when you spent a lot of hours spraying for a guy and they come back and tell you how happy they are with the coverage. Makes it all worth doing. Takes a little extra time, but I know it's appreciated. Now I'm gonna just basically run my right side on. Yeah, it's a little wide by this waterway, so I know we'll be spraying a little bit there. Edges good and clean. And it's not burning, so it looks like we got all of that. We get over to the next field, I'm gonna get out and I'll dig up some beans and show you how close we are to them coming out of the ground. This was planted just about a week ago, just over a week ago, I believe. Been keeping an eye. I came and dug some up earlier this week to see where we're at. They were swallowing a little sprout coming out of the bean. So I knew I had just about till today to get this job done, and so it would look nice. Get a lot of acres done pretty fast. I mean, not so much fast, but efficiently when you have these square fields. But when you're on strips, you just got to take your time. I see right here, I got just a little bit to do. Half the time on these strips too, you gotta be really careful because half your bumps hit, over an alfalfa field. And I haven't seen what Sonic does to an alfalfa field, but I don't want to find out. I want to be pretty. I'm gonna look at my map here, I think, to get to the next field. Yeah, I'll be able to drive across soybean stubble where they'll be planting corn. There's a waterway I'll take up here so I'm not driving through the hay. Alright, let's get out and take a look at these beans quick. See where we're at. I dug some up before I started spraying over on the other side. Alright, so you can see this is where the planter went. There it is. We still got soil covering up, so it's good. I'm not worried about the chemical hitting it. You can see my hand there. Really bright outside, but there's the beans. So not far away from coming up at all. So, hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit subscribe on my YouTube page. You'll stay up to date with the latest that's going on regarding agronomy in Southwest Wisconsin. If you're at home today, if you're a mother, happy Mother's Day. Have a beautiful day, guys. Thanks. Bye.